Hello. Let's wait for others to come in, share out, so we could get people in. I'm going to be talking about my experience with all the news about the cryptocurrencies being busted and all that. I think all all this started back in the early 2001, 2002, 2003 time period. And I noticed stuff back then. Been warning people about, hey Colleen, been warning people about Ponzi scams and all that back then. And one of the first things is that some of the online currencies were being busted, but long before Liberty Reserve was. You probably wonder what I'm talking about. My experience is that I used to be a moderator on several forums and members on some of them. One of them was the forum Taco forum. I was posting links to scams and bust and all that, warning about Fed's warning. Thank you, Karen. Um, the Fed's warning about Ponzi schemes and that, and I posted news articles like when Cerise Johnson was busted and her Trove Daily Surf. It's an auto surf or Trove Daily Pro, excuse me. It's an auto surf program that was what that had a Ponzi scheme that was disguised as an auto surf. What does this have to do with FTX and Hex Coin and all that? Well, the one clue, yeah. So if I've been watching some of them for a while. Um, it has to do with some of these people were involved with these forums and pay to read emails and all that. There's programs and websites out that you could actually get paid to click on links to emails and that. And I was doing a lot of research on Richard Hart, and it keeps leading me back to Talk Gold Forum because all of a sudden a lot of people were being busted left and right on that who were part of that forum at one time that was promoting these Ponzi schemes and that. And let me let me see. Hold on, let me see. This is what the form that I was posting warnings about these things. A lot of these high-ups programs were scams. Um, there was an article that I read on Richard Hart, and he said he was doing back then doing coding for pay PPCs and search engine optimization. PPC is pay per click, which is scripting that's used to get credited for clicking on links in emails and websites, which we call, yeah, from let me see. But I have to find a. There we go. This is what we kind of find on the taco form. Me and Pluggy were warning people. And we were talking about e-gold going down. Yes, I was known as Spitfire on that forum. That's when e-gold went down. And let me see. This is the war zone. And this is the litter box. It was an attack of another forum. Of course, you could see I'm there. What started... Okay, Colleen. What started the... Hi, Kyle. How you doing? What started going down when Bush started? Let me see. Here, was one of the first ones that went down. Gold Age. The Secret Service has raided a New York State business that exchanged dollars for grams of the digital currency called e-gold. A bevy of agents from the Secret Service, Postal Service, and local police recently detained the owners of Gold Age based in Syracuse and seized computers, files, and documents from the fledgling firm. And what they said that the investigation involved in charges of credit card fraud. So that was the start in 2001 when the feds were raiding. Let me see. Another currency that went down. Let me see. The United States returns 9.8 million recovered from bullion illegal money transmitted business to victims. It was to more than 1,000 victims who made investments or who had deposited money in ebullion.com, a website that operated for years as an illegal money transmitting business. Of course, the founder of the ebullion is now on California's death row in relation to a separate investigation and conviction in state court for contracted with hitman who murdered his wife in 2008. But another thing that people were interested in, the feds were interested in this. Let me see. Let me see where our. Here we go. Case analysts Santa Cruz card gang. The mainstream and IT trade press is replete with reference to organized crime getting to cybercrime. Is this destination correct? And how significant are the success of law enforcement in this area? U.S. prosecutor yanked a major ring of online ID thieves, the Santa Cruz, from the saddles of the web into an American court. Spotlight that achieved guilty pleas in November 2005. The roundup of the leaders of the Santa Cruz, which trafficked more than 1.7 million credit cards online, is a sign that authorities are cracking internet fraud, but experts believe that the police are mostly missing the culprits. The Santa Cruz were indeed a mixed bunch of people and would not represent organized crime in the conventional sense. Most of the members had day jobs. Neither of the founders, Andrew Mantovani and David Appleyard, would immediately appear to have the credentials to create such a monster. Mantovani, nicknamed Thank You Please Die, was a business student while Appleyard, known as Black Ops, was once a mortgage broker. Nonetheless, they brought 4,000 Santa Cruz members all together under one website, santacruz.com, to deal in credit card wares, giving police a focal point for tracing them. The website was a big giveaway, Phyllis say. The web is in someone's jurisdiction. As a result, 6 men, including the co-founder Andrew Montavani, who ran SantaCruz.com, pleaded guilty in November. The year-long investigation by the Secret Service also led to the arrest of 21 individuals in the U.S. So far, the investigation has resulted in 12 guilty pleas and several arrests outside the U.S. And the gains activities lasted from 2002 to October 2004. The crimes was made to have cost more than $4 million. They stole money using spamming and phishing to capture credit card numbers that were used to purchase wares. The merchandise was then sent to an address specifically arranged to receive the goods. The gang sent and received payments for goods using Western Union money transfer and digital money, including Eagle and Web money. And on the here's on anniversary of Operation Firewall. 2003-2004 was among the earliest large-scale cyber financial investigations and saw the takedown of several active criminal networks and the arrest of those responsible for stealing millions of credit card numbers. Law enforcement partners with the Secret Service at every level successfully identify underground criminal groups known as Santa Cruz, Carter Planet, and Dark Profits. These criminal organizations operate their websites used to traffic counterfeit credit cards and false identification information and documents, not only sharing instructional information on how to commit fraud, but also provide an informed or marketplace. Could see the rest. In addition to credit card information, the criminal network targeted in Operation Firewall illegally acquired approximately 18 million email accounts, along with associated usernames, passwords, dates of birth, and personally identifying information, approximately 60,000 of which include first and last name, gender, address, city, state, country, and telephone number. So next thing I'm going so there was a Netflix ordeal called The Hunt for Crypto King, where his Quadriga co-founder Michael Patron now. Kim and Gerald or Jerry Cotton. Jerry Cotton was Spectre on the Taco Forum. He was only 15, and I think he was groomed by this Michael Patron. Michael Patron was the co-founder of the Quadriga, as it is revealed in the new Netflix true crime documentary Trust No One, The Hunt for the Crypto King. Patron has quite an interesting past. Michael Patron has perhaps the most salacious background of anyone involved with the whole Quadriga scheme. Michael had carefully cultivated a macho badass image by presenting himself as a muscular amateur UFC guy. But his involvement with Quadriga was buried pretty deep. Research into the website's original domain name showed that the site was registered to Michael Patron, not Jerry Cotton, despite Jerry telling people he was the company's sole founder. So why the secrecy? Patron's actual real name is Omar Danani. Also, there's a known crypto sleuth on Twitter who has done digging on Omar and other scams. A former money launderer with connection to an identity theft ring called Santa Crew. The Nani is believed to be a serial scammer and was previously arrested. So we know I do know how Patron and Content met. They met online on the Talk Gold Forum, a site for investment. Well, not all of it were scams because there was pay to read and all that, but there were a lot of scams that were high-ups and MLMs. Aside for investment scams, where Cotton first started using his Spectre username. So, as one of the documented subject notes, if he had known a former money launderer and identity theft had co-founded Quadriga, he never would have participated, which is likely why his involvement was kept secret. But it was also doesn't sound likely that, given Patron's background, he was completely innocent of Cotton's scam. Again, there is no hard evidence either way, so all I have is what we're told in the documentary. Patron personally served 18 months in jail for fraud, but nothing in the documentary indicates that he was charged with anything involving Juan Quadriga. And of course, another one that went down was the Wonderland crypto co-founder. What's even more strange is that the company's co-founder, Danelli Sestagelli, appears to have known about Patron's past. I could tell from when Patron was on the taco forum, we know about him, and we warn people not to trust him. Of course, I interacted with him at times on there, tell him and all that. Plus, the info about the taco forum was not completely true because we did share articles and links to articles and what the feds said was legal and illegal. There are some legit, according to feds, legit types of things, but a lot of these things did turn out to be scams. And yes, I have crossed paths with, had arguments with Patron and Spectre at times. What else happened? They were talking about the crimes, like the scams. What was being promoted on the forums was a program set called HIAPs. A HIAP is a high yield investment program, which is an online Ponzi scheme, a fraudulent scheme in which usually high returns are financed by new investors until the scheme collapses. An ecosystem of enabling and promoting entities facilitates the industrialization of this type of investment fraud. Aggregators are paid to list active HIAPs and receive a referral fee for every investor they introduce to a HIAP. A specialist software house provides kits for both HIAPs and aggregators. And one of the articles that I posted on there was this: Therese Johnson, Life Clicks LLC, and Trove Daily Pro. On March 1st, 2006, the SEC obtained permanent injunction and other relief against Therese Johnson and her companies Trove Daily Pro and Life Clicks LLC in connection with an alleged internet-based offering fraud and Ponzi scheme. The SEC also obtained assets freezes against StormPay, Emo Core. Emo was another online payment method, eGold, and Bank of America. According to the complaint, the defendants fraudulently raised more than $50 million from over 300,000 investors worldwide. The defendants promised investor returns of 12% per day for a term of 12 days for agreeing to auto-serve 12 advertiser websites per day. The SEC claimed that in reality, 94% of investors' returns were financed directly from the principal payments of new investors. Another one that went down was AdSurf Daily, and that indictment against Thomas Anderson Boyden Jr. on December 1st, 2010. Boyden was also known as Andy Boyden, was arrested in Florida on a criminal indictment alleging 5 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of securities fraud, and 1 count of unlawful sale of unregistered securities. The indictment alleges that from or around August 2006 to in or around August 2008, Baldwin operated Ponzi scheme through a company called AdSurf Daily Inc. ASD operated on the internet at the websites adsurfdaily.com and adcastgenerator.com and laughingcdeer.com. On May 18, 2012, Boyd pleaded guilty to wire fraud and on August 29, 2012, was sentenced to 78 months in prison. So there are actual auto serves that are free to join. If it's required you have to pay money up front, don't join. It's a Ponzi scheme and you could lose money that way. If they join for free and earn money from actually surfing ads and all that to see what website you like to look at further, then it's okay. Let me see what. Okay, for what this is what talk about when the Taco and Moneymaker Group went down. According to domain info, both these forms were turned off on August 21st, 2017. And this is from Brian and Eddie who started the forums. They decided to take the sites down as they no longer wanted to be part of them, and it's not worth the possibility of getting sued and having to defend themselves yet again. And it's also worth costing them money to run. Both these forums were in operation since 2014, almost 14 years. Both Brian and Eddie are CEO of E&B Advertising, along with another related company for Advertising LLC. Eddie's been Twitter about interpreter, editor, investor, consultant, politically independent, fitness, anti-Trump, Bitcoin, Philly fan, impeach Trump, the resistance. His last tweet was several hours ago. Several former MMZ forum users speculate that the closures of the website were connected with the 1 year ago incident when the police raided Kursenstein's brother's house. They claim that the closure was not related to the police raid and there is no case against them. And so far, I've seen them post on Facebook and on Twitter once in a while. So they haven't been. The gains of scammers on Taco, Michael Patron, and Gerald Compton. Besides legitimate users that simply wanted to make a decent income online, these two forums were the party place for several cyber criminals and scammer rings. Back in those days, e-currency like e-gold and Liberty Reserve and cryptocurrencies attracted scammers like flies. The reason was very simple. Both e-currencies and cryptocurrencies are nominous and non-reversible. So once you paid someone, you couldn't get your money back if things went south. Gerald Compton was posted on Taco under the username Spectre at the same time patron known as Omar Denani before he changed his name. Posted on Taco as Patron. Patron also posted as Patron on Moneymaker Group and Black Hat Road. Spectre posted as Lucky Invest on Taco to promote a Ponzi scheme. According to CoinDesk, Michael Patron is now involved in a DeFi project called Wonderland. But this was not the only crime gain on Taco and Moneymakers. Also, there were network scammers that did many pump and dump investment schemes to lure innocent investors in and leave them without their money. This attracted authorities' attention, and those forums were closely monitored. I've been posting warnings and all that about these pump and dump investment schemes on there and the legal terms. Now, social media is getting most of the attention. Discussion forums are rapidly and surely losing members in favor of social media sites like Facebook and LinkedIn. Facebook groups are quite popular now, which is unfortunate, as most Facebook groups are filled with affiliate market link spams. Therefore, most of the users prefer to spend time on there. Both Moneymaker Group and .co forums have seen a big decline in traffic over the years, according to Electric.com. I didn't know when these forums went down because I was having health issues at that time. They had a decline of Google visibility, a decline in the ad revenues, as ad blockers became very popular in the latest years, making it difficult for sites to sell advertising, quite difficult to make a buck, which is the case for these two forums. Will they come back? Probably not. And on January 2009, both domains have been experiment have been purchased by other people, while Taco Forum now has a simple page that says the forum will sometimes be back. MMG redirects to Hype.com. So these two forums are now part of the online money making history. On March 2021, Taco Forum still remains closed. It seems that the MMG Forum got back to life by another administration team that started everything from scratch. Yet the forum is way behind its glory, as it only has a couple of thousand of members, which talk mostly about hypes. Hey, Okrum. Yeah, right, Okrum. This is what I'm trying to do. It's a warning about what's happening, especially after the FTX fiasco. Their next target is um Hex coin and Richard Hart. This is the about the trends. They talk about the feds showed up at the Fort Myers, Florida homes of brothers Brian and Edward, these computers and financial workers. According to feds, the brothers also intuitively ran websites that prop up fraudulent online financial scams. Law enforcement officials last year seized nearly $500,000 from the brothers, money that prosecutors say was derived from wire fraud. The brothers have not been charged with any crimes, and they haven't been to this day. They're probably till they also run the standalone news websites Independent Reporter and Hill Reporter were like Twitter their brand of resistance, a label that they eschew, but which aptly fits their frequent calls for their impeachment and prosecution of the president, has galvanized Trump critics. There's one thing that one thing that they did is they helped me set up my blog site that I was using to also say personal stuff, publishing and post scam warnings about these fraudulent things. Hi, Jared. How you doing? Thank you for the support. Yeah, I I believe they're going to do a poll. Do a There's news articles that the lawmakers are going to regulate the cryptos now. No more wild west. We lost Ego. We lost EmoCast, Alert Pay, Payza, um, Solid Trust Pay, SEP Trust, um, eBullion, Liberty Reserve, etc., etc. Yeah, they've been starting to go after them back in the 2000s, but it got worse lately. And like I said, I when I was searching for Richard Hart and his past, who's the founder of Hex Coin, I did found his real name, and he was the first one convicted of um, email spamming. Yeah, that's right. Hex Coin is going down too, because if you take a look at what Richard Hart's been buying, he was buying very expensive cars, diamond rings, and everything like that with people invested in the Hex Coin. It's it sounds like what everybody else that were busted lately, like the kid from the FTX and some others, and it's going to be pretty hard for a lot having crypto being banned completely. Well, I wasn't a coiner per se. I had an Eagle account which I was earning money to from pay to read programs, email to read emails and all that, and got paid that way. And and um and other things like that. And one thing I also also because I never got into the Liberty Reserve or all that, but I know the history of all these cryptocurrencies and all that from the early 2000s. I was introduced to them through the get paid to read emails and all that for clicking on links. You don't make much in the free programs. Here's, but yeah, yeah, it's going to be a pretty rough time too for for him. He'd probably go and see some jail time. Her was something that kind of killed the pay to read industry. Charles Scoville and Traffic Monsoon charged in Ponzi scheme. On July 26, 2016, the Securities and Exchange Commission announced that it enacted freeze against the operator of an international Ponzi scheme that raised more than $207 million from investors worldwide, primarily in the U.S., India, and Russia. He was running Traffic Monsoon, and he also had Traffic Box and all that. Let me see. Hold on. Hi, Hensley. How you doing? The site, the sites that the SARS-CoV owned was TVIFTC.com, InfinityBooks.com, EternalLifeBox.com, ULaunchFormula.com, WealthEngineX.com, TrophyBox.com, InboxBox.com, AdsCast, Free Hits Exchange, BoxSecure.com, PowerfulBox.com, ForeverBox.com, BoxOnLease.com, BandRev.com, UltimatePowerBoost.com, and also Traffic Monsoon and Ad Hits Profits. Oh, this doing fine. This one warn people about what's going on out there with these crypto and currency. You could see that guy owned a lot of pay to read and pay to click programs. They're since I wasn't paid to read and all that, the Department of Justice, the busted Liberty Reserve, and the founder of Liberty Reserve pleads guilty to money laundering more than $250 million through his digital currency business. Liberty Reserve was the major big one that went down, which was pre-Bitcoin. The judge's bare eagle of no person's time, a judge said it was due to a lack of criminal intent. It means that Eagle was trying to do what was right, and they've been reporting any illegal activity to the feds that they come across when they can. They can't do all the checking all accounts and all that. Storm Page went down and gone because of the Cerise Johnson fiasco. Page and Alert Pay, owned by two Canadian brothers, were sentenced for conspiring to launder money service business. Ent Gold went down. The owner pleaded guilty to violating for conducting an unlicensed money transfer to businesses and forfeited more than $1.4 million. Charlotte Trust Page has announced its terminated business operation. But from what I remember, Solid Trust Pay, I never got into it. Then got into it because I read that they were scamming people. CEP Holdings, which is the CEP Trust, got busted. OneCoin manager, which is recently OneCoin crisis manager facing fraud, money laundering charges, fights to prevent U.S. extradition. Here, two news articles. Senator Sherrod Brown leaves possibility of crypto ban opens as momentum builds for stronger regulations. Cryptocurrency firms reeling from the epic collapse of FTX and its after effects receive yet another unwelcome development on Sunday talk shows. Senator Sherrod Brown, chair of the Senate Banking Committee, took questions of NBC's Meet the Press today about how lawmakers should approach cryptocurrencies after the FTX debacle. Host Choctaw asked the lawmaker whether regulating crypto would give a green light to something that many people think should be banned. Brown referred to government agencies, the Treasury, the Secretary of Exchange Commission, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission replied, "We want them to do what need to do, maybe ban." Of course, J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon was, "Hi, Karen. How you doing?" Warren Marshall built a sale as a direct attack on crypto users. Senators say law is needed to curb money laundering and criminal use of cryptocurrencies. It's the greatest legislative threat to crypto ever. That's the conclusion drawn by Coin Center, the cryptocurrency industry think tank, after analyzing the bill introduced Wednesday by Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat, Massachusetts, and Senator Roger Marshall, Republican of Kansas. KYC requirement in an effort to bring crypto inside the regulatory regime governing TradeFi. The bill would extend low or customer requirements to crypto wallet providers, miners, validators, and other network participants that may act to validate, secure, and facilitate digital asset transactions. Such registrars would be designated money services businesses. The Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act would be also ban financial institutions from using or tornado cast down mixer or other anonymity enhancing technology and from utilizing crypto that had gone through such protocol. The bipartisan bill will help close crypto money laundering loopholes and strengthen enforcement to better safeguard U.S. national security. So, okay, take care. Unless you're going to be listening. The reason why I'm trying to remember. This is what I found in our size. Richard Hart's real name is Richard J. Schuler. It's true that you're biased still, but there are many other very legitimate reasons not to listen to anything you say, such as the fact that you falsely claim that proof of stake is a proven successful replacement for proof of work, and also the following reasons based on our own words that will be cited in the fact that you refuse to arrest him and answer simple, straightforward questions, print things like dodge, and said, Richard Hart was sued for spamming in 2002 under Washington state law source. During an interview at Anon, Richard confirmed that he was one of the first people in the world to be sued for online spam back in 2002. This shows us Richard has experienced abusing unregulated markets as he is doing with crypto these days. Is this an accurate quote of our own words? The interviewer pressed the matter and asked for a simple yes or no as to whether he, as the founder of Hex, knows who benefits from the funds sent to the origin address, he flat out said, "I'm dodging your question." Dodging the question, he proceeds to repeat dodge dollars. Why Hex is a ponzi and not a solid investment is a question. and legal and questionable events from Richard J. Schuler or Richard Hart. And also questionable events in Panama. Several of Hart's alleged alias, James Hart, J. Richard Schuler, were named in connection with the Panamanian criminal network. And and if he did say that he in that article said that he and here's the peacefire.org beats spammers in court. Free speech group peacefire.org runs a legal ground in its fight against unsolicited email invoking Washington State's anti-spam law. The King County District Court in Bellevue, Washington, on Monday granted Peacefire $1,000 in damages in each of 3 complaints filed by Peacefire. The small claims suit alleged that Red Moss Media, Paul Ann Allison, and Richard Schuler sent unsolicited commercial messages to Hazelton that bore deceptive information such as a forged return email address or misleading subject line. Washington tough anti-spam law banned such deceptive email. Enacted 4 years ago, the law is one of the nation's first measures that sets standards for junk emailers and levies stiff fines for violators. In October, the Supreme Court refused to review a constitutional challenge to Washington's law. California has similar anti-spam law that requires marketers to place the letters ADV in the subject line justified in advertising. It too has the support of the courts, which a state appeals court ruled the measure does not violate a clause in the U.S. Constitution. So far, Congress, however, has yet to pass federal regulations. So Hex founder out of the spam king. The Hex founder has been embroiled in controversy cryptocurrency project. Hart was successful, sued by peacefire.org in 2002 for violating Washington State's anti-spam laws. Yet Hart's dark past as a spam king might be the least worrying fact to emerge. Um, American criminals. And and from what I receive a similar email I was I was um I opted to receive the money making newsletter, but when I receive something like this, learn how to spam and make a fortune. Send millions of bulk emails every day and make thousands per week. And it reads like this: Hello, future spamming partner. My name is Richard Schuler. I'm a 23-year-old multimillionaire, and I'm inviting you to learn how to spam millions of people per day, like I do with my online pharmacy business. My company, Efficient Systems, send over 600 million spam emails per day, every single day, through a rapidly growing network of savvy and aggressive worldwide marketing partners. We are directly responsible for up to 70% of the online Viagra and pharmacy sales on the net today, and by far the largest email marketing operation of this kind in the world, bar none. We teach you how to spam and provide you with all the tools you need in order to make thousands of dollars per week. Email marketing has made my company with the largest online pharmacy built on a solid foundation of bulk email marketing, doing $60 million per year and growing. We'll show you insider secrets of how to successfully send millions of emails every day to AOL, Hotmail, and Yahoo to millions of eager and receptive customers who are almost dying to get our free prescriptions online pharmaceuticals. Click here to jump on the spamming bandwagon. It's never been easy to make easy money on the internet. We are so successful because no one can bring us down, and two, because we kick behind with our hacking proof and anti-spamming spammer proof sales websites, and because when you get down to it, people are like sheep, and if the sheep get enough emails shoved at them, the sheep will become customers. It's simple, and it's the key to our success and prosperity of our partners. We just kick off a drive to recruit thousands of new sales partners and affiliates. Some of our largest spammers are being paid $55,000 per week. And since it's one of the reasons I unsubscribe from the that moneymaker email group, because of something that I feel like it's illegal. Another reason why I let me see. Let me see. Hold on, I'm trying to find the Richard Schuler's journey in cryptocurrency business. And this article, He trying to tell people not to fall for scams in the cryptocurrency. Um, Later, Richards also set up a mortgage company, conducted pay-per-click management, PPC, and working on search engine optimization. Search engine. This is one of the most successful companies that he ran. Under the leadership of Richard, his company made profits of $60 million per year. What does the pay-per-click mean? Pay-per-click is scripts that use on pay-to-read websites, auto-search websites, sites where you search to earn money, and also the search engine optimization, which is implemented on sites. And some of these, he was selling these scripts probably to other people too, which he made money from. Why I said Richard when I came up with Richard's last name, it keeps leading me back to Talk Gold and all that. And it is why that make me think that I recognize that Richard Schuler name because I was involved in the pay-to-read programs back in the days. I don't, not saying that he was involved in the scammy pay-to-read ones where it became Ponzi schemes or anything, but I've said that with him, he have visited the forums in the pay-to-read industry, like Get Paid Forum, Get Paid to Boycott, Talk Gold, Moneymaker Group Forum, everything like that. So, even though it's been a long time, he probably don't remember me since I went by Spitfire on these forums. I talked to some of these guys, some of these people that were conducted with pay-per-click management and all that back then. I may have talked to him too, but mostly on the forums. Hi, Momo. How you doing? Uh, Here's the juicier part. SEC subpoenas influencers associated with Hex pulsing, and pulsex. In the latest news about regulators clamping down on digital currency scams and ripoffs, prominent influencers associated with Richard Hart's Hex, Pulsing, Pulsex have reportedly received subpoenas from the SEC. The subpoenas informed the influencers that SEC believes they may possess documents and data that are relevant to an ongoing investigation being conducted by the staff of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. The subpoenas was initially called out as fake by Hex supporters on social media, but after the initial denial wore off, most switched from denial into panic as instructions flew on Hex-related Telegram and Discord channels about how to destroy documents. From the outset, there have been suspicious transactions associated with Hex, and Richard Hart has never been shy about his flamboyant, materialistic lifestyle due to the money he has made on his scheme. His official Twitter bio claims he owns the world's largest diamonds, quickest Ferrari, and most expensive Rolexes. Hex targeted investors in the UK and elsewhere, even going as far as taking ads in Premier League stadiums and on London taxis told on 11,500% price rise in 4 months. It's another example of the unscrupulous characters who operate in the digital currency space, pointing their fingers at legitimate blockchains while promoting unsustainable schemes to naive investors who hope to make a quick buck. The crackdown is getting started. Last year, SEC Chairman Gary Gensler warned that the Wild West era of the digital currency industry was over and the crackdown to security violation would soon begin. This is something Dr. Greg Wright has been warning about for years. While it remains to be seen whether Richard Hart and his various schemes will survive the SEC probe, it's clear that many popular projects in the industry will disappear and their founders will end up in jail or on the run. While some lament this crackdown yearning for the days of easy gains at the expense of uninterested speculators, those focused on utility and the long-term use cause of blockchain technology would welcome it. When people like Richard Hart disappeared and voices like Dr. Wright can finally be heard, things will improve and the technology can finally reach its potential. What other social media loudmouths have attracted attention from SEC and other regulators worldwide? Time will tell, but for now, it's Richard Hart who is firmly in the spotlight. So, hi Rick, how you doing? Yeah, a lot of us got into it, and I warned months before or weeks before that to Hex, the real Joker, Hex Joker, that the feds will shut the Hex coin down, and he didn't believe me. I always predicted these things, and these things has proven me right. And everybody's started catching on. The investors in the stock markets for the Hex coins and all that have been plummeting, and it's not going up. People are now seeing that the light, it's the end of the road for Hex coin and pulsate and all that. And it was my experience from when I was into pay to read. It's been seeing this industry with the e-gold, e-bullion, storm pay issue, PayPal and money brokers stop accepting pay to read and all that. It, and Alert Pay went down, Liberty Reserve, Solid Trust Pay, and everything all went down. Picnics went down. It Gold went down because there's unscrupulous people using these online currency and crypto and that to scam people big time. And sometimes it's the people behind that these cryptos, like Michael Patron and his partner Gerald Compton and the founder of FTX and Richard Hart, all of them keep buying all these luxury item stuff. Yeah, I think I think a lot of that, Rick. I think a lot of that is because all the news about the feds in many countries cracking down on these crypto and encouraging people. The founder of Liberty Reserve spent time in prison for money laundering and things like that. Because from what I could tell, and when I looked at Hexcoin website that Richard Hart put up, and I looked at it and I go, that sounds almost like a Ponzi scheme, which is illegal. There's no way you could make that much in that short amount of time because a Ponzi scheme is where people recruit other people to pay up until the last person got in when everything collapses and no money to be made. Only money that went to is the people at the top. It's like a pyramid scheme. And yeah, yeah. I know. I was involved in eGold. E/GOLD. It was so. It was so heartbreaking that they were shut down. I had little money left in it that I did not enough for them to send me the money. I had like 50 cents in it. It goes up and down with interest from the gold market, on the stock market. Same thing with e-bullying and all that. The only ones that I know of that haven't faced prison times that opened the early crypto was cryptocurrency was ego, which was the father of all these bitcoins and all that. Solid Trust Pay, Money Bookers, PayPal. And that is why their feds are looking at all these people, because there's laws against money laundering and things like that. And you have criminal networks running behind the scenes in these scams and all that. And a lot of people wind up being victims of losing a lot of money. I think the number of money lost, the amount of money that was lost since early 2000, like 2000, 2001, 2002, and longer, accounted to today, it's probably in the billions of dollars that lots of people lost, not just in cryptocurrency, but they got suckered into these ponzi schemes, online ponzi schemes, where they lost money from where they pay in crypto. These people are using bitcoins lately and all that to finance the greed of what's going on. My interpretation of some of these people that were getting busted and all that was mainly for greed. They want the money. They won't. People should research tornado cast. Okay. Yeah, I heard something about that. There, many of the people that were busted were Canada, U.S., Central American countries, you name it. Yeah. And like I said, there's one Democrat leader in the Senate was talking about complete ban on cryptocurrency because it was so unregulated. And when that happened, it caused a lot of because of what went on with the FTX and all the other currency places that went down. Liberty Reserve, OneCoin, um, Quadriga, Alert Pay, Payza, you name it. Ebullient. The founder of Ebullient, hold on. He's serving on death row in California. He hired a hitman to kill his wife. And there's things like that we have to research into who we could trust online. Do we trust Richard Hart? If he said he was a spam king and all that, I don't trust him. A hex coin. With this guy, Ebullient founder, I don't trust him. Patron, Michael Patron, or his real name's Omar Danahani. Canadian, I don't trust him either. Since he was part of the Santa Cruz hacking community. And on and on. And that's why I kind of butt heads with Joker right now. Yeah, the real Joker, because he keeps pumping this hex coin up when everybody knows it's dead. It's really dead. Because Richard Hart's path is coming up. Yeah. I don't think I want to invest in anything like that, Rick. Not worth it being shady as it is. And I've been involved in a pay to read or get paid to programs since 2001. Some of these legit pay to programs that I'm in is similar to the likes of Microsoft is doing on their site, earn rewards. And that's pretty much, yeah. Yeah, but then you also have unscrupulous characters in crypto too. And And with what's going on, we could probably see why the feds are going. Yeah, and I could see why the feds are looking into all these crypto coins or any others. The money bookers did the right things in the UK. They banned the illegal stuff like PayPal did. Ego came around and said enough of that, but it was too late for them. Yeah, a lot of people still won't get all their money back from these scams that went down, especially in the FTX and all that. For what I know, some of the people that were busted had their property seized, money seized, assets seized, you name it. Computers, all that stuff. So it's pretty. Yeah, I think a lot of I think a lot of companies did. One coin was another one that helped. Quadrigo is another one. They're looking at all these cryptos. Xcoin probably be another one that goes down like FTX. We don't know yet. And I don't think crypto will recover because all the speculation about these hex coin and all that came up the past couple of years, saying it's a ponzi scam and all that. The hex coin and Bitcoin that were going up, and all of a sudden they plummeted. So far, I haven't heard of Shiba or Dogecoin got hit yet. They'll probably be looked at too. And the crypto industry is going to be under regulation like the banks pretty soon. Because a lot of them are mostly transferring money from one place to another. Ah, that's another one that went down, Rick. Beyonce. Beyonce is in trouble too. They got caught red handed. If I remember right. Let me see. Hold on, let me check something. In 2021, Beyonce was put under investigation by both the United States Department of Justice and Internal Revenue Service as allegations of money laundering and tax offenses. The UK Financial Conduct Authority ordered Beyonce to stop all regulated activity in the United Kingdom in June 2021. In 2021, Beyonce shared client data include names and addresses with the Russian government. In March 2022, amidst the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine, Beyonce's CEO Changpeng Zhao refuses to ban users from Russia's citing financial freedom. In April 2022, Reuters reported that in 2021, Beyonce shared information with Rosfinmonitoring about funds raised by jailed Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny's network. On 27 May 2022, Beyonce announced the registration of its legal entity in Italy and has plans of opening offices and expanding the local team in the area. On June 13th, 2022, Beyonce announced that users would for an unspecified period of time be unable to withdraw their funds held in Bitcoin as the value of cryptocurrencies suffered shares declines. 2 hours after that announcement, Bitcoin withdrawals were allowed to resume. Legal status: United States. In 2019, Beyonce was banned in the United States on regulatory grounds in response. Beyonce and other investors opened Beyonce.us, a separate exchange designed to comply with all applicable U.S. federal laws, which nonetheless is banned in 6 states: Hawaii, Idaho, Louisiana, New York, Texas, and Vermont. In May 2021, Bloomberg News reported that Beyonce was under investigation by the United States Department of Justice and Internal Revenue Service for money laundering and tax evasion. In June 2022, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission launched an inquiry into Beyonce, determining if the company's 2017 ICO of BNB tokens amounted to an illegal sales of security. In December 2022, Beyonce's American entity, Beyonce.us, will acquire Voyager Digital Assets. Yeah, It's, well, the investigation will take time, Rick. That means that they could be in trouble, legal wise. Yeah. Um, so, okay. No, I'm not Amish. I just haven't been saving. And like I said, I was presented of what my experience and how I was affected with these raids on Eagle and all that. What I went through and all that, and why what I saw and witnessed all through these years. Why I think that hex coin is going to go down next. I'm sorry to the hexagons out there. It's what I've seen all these years. I said Liberty Reserve would go down on that taco form, and guess what? People didn't believe me. They said the U.S. feds have no jurisdiction to nab them. Uh, and guess what? They got them. And Liberty Reserve founder pleaded guilty for money laundering. Yeah, there are lots more I could show tomorrow. This was just a review. Tomorrow is going to be more of a, let's say, a panel. If anybody wants to talk about what's going on. And any more questions about what I know about about pay to read and all that, pay to click and all that. If not, I could continue tomorrow and do a panel. Okay. I I like to thank Rick, Alcom, Colleen, and others who came in and dropped by. Thank you for stopping by. The 2 hour mark is up, and I'll. Okay, Rick. Will do. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Love, peace, happiness. Be kind to other people, and and remember, don't get taken advantage of something that sounds to be too good to be true. I'll see you all of you tomorrow night at the same time. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Thank you and good night.